Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio, here in Rocket Arena for our second semifinal game here of this Friday morning/afternoon. This time, we already have one women's team punch their ticket into the MAC Championship. The number 1 seeded Ball State Cardinals taking down the defending MAC tournament champions Kansas State Golden Flashes to advance to the final game. But here we have the number 2 seeded Toledo Rockets taking on the number 3 seeded Buffalo Bulls for a chance to meet the Cardinals in the championship game. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast. I'm Lucas Kleinmar alongside Tyler Kavlitz. Tyler, we did talk about how you and I haven't been on a call for a long time, sharing a headset, but now it's 2 calls and 2 days, and we have another big one on our hands.
Yeah, this is a very big matchup. Like you said, we already know one team that's going to be playing for the title tomorrow, and we will see who will join them. Going to be a very competitive matchup, I think, between this Rockets team and the Bulls squad, and really looking forward to seeing how each team kind of plays the chess pieces and how they strategize against each other.
Indeed. So Toledo Rockets took down the number 7 seed Central Michigan Chippewas to get to this point. It was kind of a back and forth game, but Toledo went on that run there in that late third and fourth quarter to kind of pull away there and get the win. And obviously we both know that Buffalo defeated Bowling Green in a very exciting game. Went down to the final seconds. Chella Watson hitting that shot 10 seconds left to go just turned into a different animal in that fourth quarter to send the Bulls to another semifinal appearance. And so far, it's been all chalk this tournament. Haven't had one upset, but we got the 2 seed playing the 3 seed. And if Buffalo are going to get back into the MAC championship like they did last year, they're going to have to pull the upset over the Rockets.
Yeah, and it's all going to fall on the shoulders of Chella Watson. As Chella Watson goes, this Buffalo offense goes. Becky Burke, the head coach of the Bulls postgame, when I asked her about Chella Watson's outburst and what, allows her to take over the game in these fourth quarters, these late game situations, she simply responded with, fourth quarter, it's Chella Watson time. And that she said that she would give the ball in Chella Watson's hands over any player that plays on this court in Cleveland. And that's saying something in the amount of trust that she has in her star.
Absolutely. I mean, Watson has been unbelievable. First team All-MAC selection. She was number 1 in the MAC in scoring in the regular season as well. Buffalo is the number 1 scoring offense in the MAC this year. They're also were the number 2 defensive team in the conference heading into this one as well. And as we know, they finished 3rd in the MAC this year, and there's not a whole lot separating both these teams. It really is going to come down to those star players and when we get into crunch time.
Yeah, it will, and that's kind of how all these tournament games go. Defense going to be huge. We'll see if any team gets hot early or if both offenses are going to be stifled early in this contest. That's going to be major to see which team, because it's going to be a game of runs. Which team can jump out first and really grab a hold of that momentum is going to be huge. But that was a big thing post-game with Buffalo is they've been down quite a bit this season and had to crawl out of these deficits. They're going to want to jump out here early. Becky Burke said that how the game went against Toledo earlier in the season. She thinks her squad will respond pretty well early in this game, but they know that if they do get down, you can never count out this Bulls team coming back from a 13-point deficit against Bowling Green.
Indeed, and it's worth knowing the 2 matchups these 2 sides have faced this season. Toledo won both games, 58-55. At Buffalo, kind of a low-scoring affair between those 2 teams, and then you look back in late February, Buffalo lost again to Toledo. This time 71-68 at Savage Arena. So both games only 3 points separate these 2 teams, and we're probably going to be looking at a similar scoreline once again here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't expect a high-scoring contest. I could be very wrong with that. As they say, defense wins championships. I think that's going to be the key of which defense can not stop the other offense, because I don't think that's going to happen. I would use the term limit, which defense can limit the other team's offense.
Indeed as well. We are now moments away from tip-off here in Rocket Arena. We have the starting 5s for each team. Buffalo start being announced right now, so let's get to the head coach Becky Burke's Bulls. The starting 5 for her, Kirsten Lewis-Williams, Alexis Davis, Chella Watson, Nolani Cornfield, and Sitota Hines, so an unchanged starting 5 for the Bulls.
Yeah, really expected there. Those are the 5 players that you expect the Bulls to take the court with right away, and those are the 5 players that they're going to lean on pretty heavily. Not much bench production from Buffalo against Bowling Green, so you're going to be hearing those names quite a bit for the blue and white today.
And for the Toledo Rockets, Nan Garcia into the starting 5 for Toledo was the sixth man of the year off the bench for the Rockets. Candace Dykstra as well. Kira Goss, Sammy McConowitz, and Kendall Caruthers rounds out the starting five for TOL.
Yeah, that's an interesting move, bringing Garcia in. She's come off the bench for most this year, like you said, six-man player of the year. So we will see how that bench is managed here today. But this is a Toledo squad that is so veteran, Lucas. You look at this senior class of Jessica Cook, Nan Garcia, Goss, and McConowitz, and Novoroski. They have a 6-2 record in the MAC tournament games. They are looking for their second title in 3 years here at the MAC tournament and their 10th overall championship.
Indeed, they are. And you look at, obviously, Bowling Green, obviously, with Falcon Rainbow, obviously covered Bowling Green. They've had a lot of success in this MAC tournament as well. The Rockets did beat Bowling Green a couple years back, and then last year, Robin Frederick to win that MAC championship to get an NCAA tournament bid.
Beating a very good Bowling Green team in that game.
Indeed, and funny enough, you and I were on the call for this game last year. Both these teams met in the semifinal last year. Buffalo defeating Toledo in overtime. That was an incredible game last year, and hopefully we're in store for another one. There's been a lot of good games all throughout the tournament, both men's and women's.
Yeah, hopefully that is a little foreshadowing for what we have today. I do think it's going to be a different dynamic than last year. I think both these teams are a lot more developed. I think Chella Watson has broken out even more. I feel like she, because of coming up to the level that Buffalo is at after her previous stomp, she really got all the eyes on her last year. And now the league kind of knows who Chella Watson is, and they expect her to put in 20 points every game. 13 fourth quarter points for Chella Watson last game against Bowling Green. She might not start fast, but she will heat up at some point in this game. It's going to be it's going to be Toledo's job, to limit Chella Watson and control this Buffalo offense.
Ready here for tip-off at Rocket Arena. The Bulls going from right to left on your radar dial. Toledo going from left to right. The Bulls in their blue with some white strip. Toledo in their white with gold strip and gold numbers as well. Underway here, first quarter action at Rocket Arena. Game 10 of the MAC tournament here as the Rockets win the tip-off. Early possession here. Feed inside to McConowitz. She lays it off the glass and in 2-0 Toledo. Here's the start.
Sammy McConowitz, very good once again this season. Named to the All-MAC second team just a few days ago.
Alexis Davis working inside. Put that shot. No good. Good defense there from Garcia, who gets the start this afternoon. But she gives away carelessly. Not on the same page there. I believe that was Goss there. Her not on the same page. It was picked off here from Cornfield. Here's Hines.
Toledo's not going to be able to give the ball away that much this game. They're going to have to maintain ball possession and not give easy giveaways.
Watson there. Nice couple moves inside. Their little off-bound shot. No good. Goss and the Rockets come away with it.
We talked about Buffalo's slow starts. If Toledo could get out to a big lead early, that would be huge for the Rocket squad.
Here's Goss. Hands up to Garcia. Goss here moves top of the key. Here's Caruthers. Garcia now moving inside, guarded by Davis here. Shot clock down to 6. Dykstra moves inside, moves to the left there. Good defensive play from Cornfield.
I think Toledo's offense was way too stagnant. I know they still have 3 seconds on the shot clock. I think that possession was way too stagnant. Kind of every player standing around that three-point arc, a few steps in, few steps out. There wasn't any cutting. There wasn't any off-ball movement. Toledo needs to get some energy into the offense.
Ball in, only 1. The shot clock there. Caruthers is unaware of the shot clock there. Puts up it's kind of an off-balance shot there. Put up a shot because she had to and goes out of bounds. So Toledo comes up empty there.
Just bad awareness. You have to know there's 3 seconds left in that shot clock. She probably thought it was reset to 20 after being knocked out of bounds. It was not. And that's too early. Very, low awareness turnovers by Toledo against this potent Buffalo offense.
2-0 Toledo still. 8:32 left to play here in the first quarter. Here come the Bulls. Trying to get the first points in this one. Lewis Williams drives inside there. Was knocked off her balance a little bit. Got the shot pass off to Watson. Watson now try 3 from top of the key off around the rim. No good. And rebounded from Garcia. Here comes Dykstra back that way for the Rockets. That one's stolen away there on the ground. That was Nolani Cornfield, one of the best players in the MAC in steals. Was right behind Janaea Donahue from Bowling Green in steals this season, and she's on display there, showing off her skills.
Bogus cannot be happy with the start for the Rockets. Defensively, they've held Buffalo to 0-3 from the field, but you've committed 3 turnovers on your own end, just unable to capitalize on what your defense is putting in front of you. this Toledo offense needs to get their act together here soon.
So both teams trying to find their groove still offensively. 2 minutes into this one, still 2-0 Rockets. Here's Davis moving inside near the charity stripe, hands it off here to Cornfield. Cornfield out to Lewis Williams, puts on a couple moves. Thought about a shot, heavily guard there from McConowitz. Good defensive play there from her, and a turnover there for Buffalo. McConowitz, long left pass for Goss, just a little too strong there, and the Rockets rushed that one.
That's just another, I don't want to call that one low awareness, but another lackadaisical turnover. You tried to force a pass that wasn't really there because that was tightly guarded on the transition. Nice job of Buffalo's defense getting back. McConowitz tried to sew it a little too tight instead of slowing down the offense and setting something up.
So this is a similar start Buffalo had against Bowling Green. Both teams were scoreless for a long period in the first quarter.
I think adrenaline can be to blame for a lot of this. I think both teams are feeling the adrenaline early on. You're seeing some energy jumps from both teams, not exactly knowing what to do as well.
That could definitely be a big factor in this one. Watson, nice bounce pass in the post to Davis there. Nice pump fake, put the shot, didn't go, but she's fouled. She'll go to the cherry stripe for the first time this afternoon.
It's different in the first semifinal game versus the second, because the first, you're ready to go out. The second, you have to wait around. You have to watch these two teams play, and now you're thinking about who you would face if you move on. They'll say they're not thinking of it, but they know in the back of their head who is advancing to the championship game and who they could possibly match up with, and it's just all about trying to focus on this game. That's a big challenge for all these players out here right now.
Davis there just 1 for 2 for a line, so 2-1 Toledo. Davis this season just a 75.9% shooter from the charity stripe. Here come the Rockets trying to break their scoring drought. Garcia 3, a little too strong there, falls right to the hands of Goss, trying to put that up and in over Hines, and Hines will get tagged with this foul on Goss. That'll be her first personal.
Toledo, a very good rebounding team, 28th in the country coming into the tournament with a plus 6.9 rebounding margin. Nice job cleaning up the air ball from the corner by Nan Garcia there.
And I think your early analysis, Tyler, is spot on. The adrenaline and kind of seems like both sides are really rushing their offense right now. They started out a little slow, but they're just not making those right decisions.
No, they're just each side's either forcing something or not exactly knowing what to do. And it could also be a factor of the chess game between these two teams. They're throwing out a little different defensive looks, so it's just taking a little adapting period.
Goss there 1 from 2 from the free throw line, so 3-1 Toledo. A wide open 3 in the corner for Hines, and that one hits nothing but air.
Back-to-back air balls by the two teams on 3-point attempts.
Jessica Cook and Destiny Robinson also checked in for Toledo for Garcia and Dykstra. Here's McConowitz, top of the key three-pointer. McConowitz in and out and into the hands of Davis.
I like that attempt by McConowitz, though. Just took the open look, wasn't hesitant, almost went in. She'll take another one when she gets an opportunity.
And there's the quick release there. Chella Watson moving inside, put on a couple moves for her first points of the contest. We're tied at 3 apiece. 6:28 left to play in the first.
Combined just 2 for 8 shooting and 0 for 4 from deep by these two teams here over the first 3.5 minutes.
Carruthers moves top of the key. Goss heavily guarded there from Hines. Almost poked that one away. Feeds it inside to Cook. We usually see her in the starting 5. She's off the bench here this afternoon. Cook working on Davis. Cook looking for an outlet. 5 seconds on the shot clock there. And I believe now they forced the double dribble there.
I think it was a travel they called. Looks like she just picked up her dribble and started walking a little bit, trying to move towards the free throw line on the wing. And another just careless turnover for Toledo. That's 5 turnovers already here in this game. We still have 6:07 to play in the first quarter, Lucas.
Yep, so a turnover there from Cook.
And that's an interesting move, moving Garcia into the starting 5, because you lose a little scoring off the bench. And Toledo's already a good rebounding team, so you would assume they're trying to get some rebounding off the bench. Is the kind of strategy there?
Probably is as well, and I think it's kind of interesting changing up at this point in the season in the game. Yeah. You have the 6th man of the year in Garcia, and it's giving you that spark all season long, and now you put her in the starting 5. You have Paula Lopez and Ariana Sewell in for Buffalo as well. Alexis Davis and Hines both checked out for the Bulls. Ella Weaver has checked in for Toledo as Kendall Carruthers has checked out. This ball be inbounded inside here to Lewis Williams. That shot went up. They'll call a travel on Lewis Williams before the shot went up anyways, so good defensive play there once again from Sammy McConowitz. So the Rockets will come back here with this one. Here's Ella Weaver, her first touch of the ball. Cook. Here's Goss. Goss, the Buffalo Bulls player takes a hit on the floor, no foul call, gets right back up. Cross again, looking for Cook there, loose pass, and it's stolen away there, nicely there from Ariana Sewell. Her first takeaway coming into the game is sharing a foul.
Just some more sloppy offense by Toledo, 6 turnovers now. There's no dynamic in this Rockets offense right now. It's a lot of standing around, not a bunch of off-ball movement, no cutting towards the rim, no cutting on the baseline. It's 4 or 5 players standing around the three-point arc, kind of just waiting for Buffalo to give them an opening, which you talked about how good the Bulls' defense has been this year. They're not going to just allow that.
Indeed as well. Still 3-3 here, 5:20 left to play. Almost at our first media timeout. Here's Watson moving inside with the left. Watson, that shot rolls off the back of the rim and no good into the hands of McConowitz. Here come the Rockets once more. Nice couple of moves here, moving inside. Here's Robinson. Robinson put the shot up there and no good. Cornfield again, so another empty possession here from the Rockets. Here's Lopez.
Low percentage shot on that last attempt. Tried to take the contact and make something happen, most likely trying to draw a foul. Didn't get that, and the shot came up short off front iron.
Cornfield top of the key, guarded by Robinson. Bounce pass inside. Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams heavily guarded from Cook over her back. Now puts her shoulder inside Cook, and a very off-balance shot there. Low percentage if I've ever seen one, and close but no cigar.
Good defense by Jessica Cook, keeping her feet set and staying straight up, avoiding a foul.
McConowitz heavily guarded there from Lewis Williams and Sewell. Howard shot no good, goes out of play. Still will remain Toledo ball, however. So first media timeout here, 4:26 left to play in the first quarter. 3-3 is your score between the number 2 seeded Toledo Rockets and the number 3 seeded Buffalo Bulls. You're listening to the 2025 Mid-American Conference Tournament Women's Basketball Semifinal round here on Falcon Radio.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, after our first media timeout here in the first quarter, in the second semifinal matchup. This time the Toledo Rockets taking on the Buffalo Bulls here on Falcon Radio. Lucas Kleinmar alongside Tyler Kavelitz with you. And Tyler, I think it's safe to say both teams really struggling to shoot the basketball here early on.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for both sides. 1 for 5 for Toledo from the field, 1 for 7 for Buffalo. Teams combining to go 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. No player has really kind of going so far. Just 4 scores in the game, saving McConowitz and Shella Watson with 2 points each, and Goss and Davis with 1 point apiece. Offense is a little stagnant right now. Defense is stifling. Kind of what we expected early on in the contest, not to be too much offense. I don't think we thought it would be 3-3 at the first media timeout. It'll be interesting to see now that these teams have a chance to get back in the huddle, game plan a little bit, see what the initial defensive set look like, how the adjustments are made. I expect the next few possessions to be high-quality scripted plays and for each offense to get on the board here a little more frequently.
Well, I think an early takeaway you could take as well, the rebounding battle. Toledo 8-3 winning that category, so 5 more early boards from them over the Bulls. And as we kind of hinted at, Tyler, early on, Watson just 1 for 4 to start here for Buffalo, but if history repeats herself, she will get going later on as the game. Ball inbound, McCowan's looking for Cook there. Excuse me, actually that was Hannah Novoroski who's checked into the game for the Rockets. There, her shot went up and no good, but she is fouled, and she'll go to the charity stripe.
I would like to see more of that from Toledo. I don't think they should be hanging around the three-point line as much as they are, especially with the dominance they have down low rebounding right now. Attack that paint, get high-quality looks, or draw the foul like they did and get opportunities at some free points.
Novoroski's first attempt from the line rolls around the rim and falls, so no good.
Toledo coming into the game 73.1% from the charity stripe this season.
Novoroski's second attempt is up and good, so 4-3 Toledo. Rockets back out in front here momentarily. Here's Lewis Williams for the Bulls. 4:15 left to play here before we reach the second quarter. It's been a defensive and low-scoring first quarter thus far. Watson back to Lewis Williams. Back to Watson trying to put that shot. That is rejected there from Goss. Watson gets it back. Goss there, a little reach-in foul there. Goss did so good there in the initial one, but the second one will be called a foul.
She got a little aggressive after she got the block. Tremendous defensive play, and all Chella Watson was doing was backing down, and she got aggressive trying to reach in. Easy foul call for the officials right there on the baseline.
Cornfield inbound to Watson here towards the left wing in front of the Toledo bench. Now works her way inside to the right there. Puts the hierarchy shot there too strong again and falls into the hands of McConowitz.
Nowhere close on that one. Didn't hit rim or hit the square on the backboard. Really overshot it. Not a great look by Chella Watson.
Two number forwards going at it. Carruthers and Cornfield. Carruthers gets some separation. Now defended by Watson. Gets it out to McConowitz. Feed inside to Novoroski. That one rolls around the rim. It falls into the hands of Sewell. Here come the Bulls here in the fast transition. Watson almost triple teamed there from Rockets. Kicks it outside to Cornfield. Nice bounce pass inside. Sewell gets some separation. Sewell up and in off glass. Buffalo back in front 5-4 with 3:20 left to play in the first.
I would also like to see that from Buffalo. Same thing I said for Toledo. Attack that paint, and you can make that Toledo defense collapse and then get your open three-point looks instead of forcing them.
Mid-range shot there from Carruthers, no good. Here comes Lopez and the Bulls back the other way. Watson, she'll pull up a mid-range. That one off the mark as well. Lopez trying to fight for that rebound, be lost off of her. So Toledo will take over.
This is very similar to how Chella Watson started last game. She's just 1 for 7. I don't think she should stop taking any shots, though. She is the center of this Buffalo offense, and water will find its level at some point. Just 2 points on the game so far. And she's had some good looks. That last one was a very high-quality look, wide open for 2 points, mid-range shot. She's not going to become hesitant. So she'll keep shooting them. It'll just be a matter of time before she starts making them. But Toledo has a chance to really open something up with Watson and the Buffalo offense struggling.
Here's Garcia checking back in for Toledo, working her side baseline. There, shot no good. Good defensive play there from Beatty. Beatty along the pass looking for Cornfield. That's intercepted from Faith-Fed Robinson. And Robinson back the other way for Toledo. Here's Carruthers. Has Fed Robinson open the right corner if she can find her. Loses her dribble there for Watson. Still has it. Works her way top of the key. Now moves left. Now gets it to Fed Robinson. Now working her way. Now moving inside. Guarded by Lopez. Fed Robinson. Nice spin move. Trying to pass that one off last second to Garcia. Still has it. Shot clock down to 1 second. And Garcia hits it.
Nice look by Garcia. Finished it off just before the buzzer was about to sound. And Toledo back in front now 6-5. Still a very low scoring affair under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
That's Garcia's first points in this contest. Toledo now back in the lead just by 1. Get to the Beatty. Travel will be called on Beatty as she received that one.
10 turnovers in this first quarter. 4 for Buffalo, 6 for Toledo.
Yeah, definitely not the start they wanted offensively for both teams. Still in it, 6-5, 1:41 left to play here before we reach quarter number 2 here in Rocket Arena. Here's Fed Robinson, gets some separation, moves inside, lays it up and in. Her first points of this contest, 8-5 Toledo.
Toledo just dominating down low. Buffalo's defense has no answer for the Rockets when they go inside the paint.
Watson got a nice pass off to Lewis Williams, but her shot with the left there a little short. And rebounded from Garcia, and that's the one you like to see Buffalo make. Garcia got Beatty to bite there. Garcia moves inside there, a little too strong on that mid-range jumper. Here comes Buffalo. Now Watson speeds it out to Cornfield. Cornfield now pulls up, and Cornfield puts it in for her first points in this contest. 8-7 with a minute left to play here in the first.
Nice defense on Lewis Williams on the last Toledo possession. Stepping up, contesting the shot, highly contested in the paint to turn that into offense for Buffalo.
Here's Fed Robinson. Pass down with Garcia. She was left open underneath the basket, and she's going to be fouled by Beatties. So take 2 plus 1 to go here coming up for Garcia.
And you could just see the efficiency shift for this Toledo offense when they decide to attack the paint versus when they are stagnant outside around the arc. That should be the game plan moving forward for the Rockets, because if they can make this Buffalo defense continue to collapse and try to find an answer down low, by the time they do, the Rockets will have some open three-point looks to capitalize on.
Yep, and Hines will be checking in momentarily for the Rockets. In for Lopez. Beatty also checked out as well. Alexis Davis is back in for Toledo. 46.2 seconds left to play here in the first. If Garcia can make this a 4-point Rocket lead with this free throw and complete the 3-point play, and she does, 11-7 Rockets. Here come Watson. Outside Cornfield. She'll take a 3. Cornfield! That connects. First 3 made of this contest for either side. It's Nolani Cornfield, 11-10.
Teams continue to trade back and forth, just a 1-point contest.
Here's Garcia now top of the key. About 6 seconds separate shot clock and game clock. Here's Robinson. Working on Cornfield. Gets this one to the outside.
About a 6-second difference between shot clock, game clock.
A shot there from Carruthers over Hines, no good. 6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Shot clock is off. Here's Watson, drives to the rim. No good there. I think they're going to get an offensive foul on Watson.
They will. That'll be Watson's first personal, and that'll give Toledo the ball back with 4.7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It'll be interesting to see who they give the ball. McConowitz not on the floor currently. I could easily see someone like Carruthers getting the ball here, trying to make a half-court heave.
Just 4.7 seconds left. It's going to get to McConowitz here with 3 seconds left. McConowitz going to put one up there. Didn't have the distance at all. I don't know if Lopez got a touch on that one, but it sails out of bounds, and that's how this first quarter will come to a close. Defensive low scoring, but only 1 point separates both of these teams. The number 3 seeded Buffalo Bulls down by 1 against the number 2 seed Toledo Rockets. 11-10 is your score. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back for the start of the second quarter. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Tournament here on Falcon Radio.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. That's the scent of shopping success, because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm BG News reporter Ava Thoman, and here's a look at this week's edition of the BG News. Honoring Women's History Month and celebrating all women who've made an impact. See who is being celebrated and how you can join in on the celebration. Since its 1965 opening, Stella Field has not seen a big renovation. Read about the fundraising campaign and what renovations are being brought to the baseball diamond. A tree honoring a lay professor will be planted on campus. Find out more about how some students raised all the funds in just 6 hours. And on March 12th, the Bowling Green Falcon Marching Band took flight to Ireland. Read about what they plan on doing for St. Patrick's Day. Check out these stories and more in this week's edition of the BG News, now available on newsstands around the BGSU campus and the Bowling Green community.
For
all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
Back here in Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, ready to start quarter number 2. 11-10 is your score. The number 2 seed Toledo Rockets over the number 3 seed Buffalo Bulls. The winner will face the Ball State Cardinals in the MAC championship game. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on Falcon Radio. That will be quite an exciting one. How about those Ball State Cardinals, Tyler? I mean, my goodness, they have. It seems like they're almost unstoppable at this point. Sometimes some of the runs they get on, they've been really good all season long.
I saw Brady Salee just up here by the media tables a few moments ago talking to some individuals, and his squad is playing as good as they have all season long right now against high-quality opponents from the Mid-American Conference, and it's going to be a very uphill battle for any team, or for, I guess it's down to these two teams, either of these two teams that face them in the MAC championship. They will be for sure the favorites, the betting favorites going into that game, no matter the opponent, whether it is Toledo or Buffalo. And it's their tournament to lose, quite frankly.
It is. So back in the way here in the second quarter, Garcia out to Fed Robinson. Top of the key, that 3 no good, but nice rebound from McConowitz. Her turnaround jumper there hits nothing but air. Long outlet pass there, looking for Hines. That was picked off from McConowitz, but Toledo comes away with it. A little bit of an interesting play design there from Buffalo, just kind of heaving it down there, but Toledo with the ball again.
Both offenses just stifled and confused right now. No identity on either offense so far.
11 Rockets have seen action on the floor so far in this game. Goss feeds the ball down low with Hines there. Goss, travel is going to be called.
I don't understand the strategy for Toledo's offense right now. You had 4 players around the arc, and you tried to throw it into the low block, double teamed off the only player cutting on the floor into the paint. You are out-rebounding Buffalo this game. You are one of the best rebounding teams in the MAC, if not the best. Attack the paint and get some easy looks. It has worked so far, and they seem to want to stay away from it for some reason.
They do, and you look here, Buffalo back on the offensive, and Cornfield just threw the ball out of bounds, looking at the Toledo bench, thought a player was open in the corner. So both teams just not on the same page at all here to start the game offensively, and maybe they can get it figured out
Both
at
these
halftime.
teams seem like they just rolled out of bed about 15 minutes ago coming to play this game. At least offensively, the defensive play has been phenomenal on both sides. Neither team allowing either offense to take a breath and set up anything. And once again, here's Toledo, 5 players around the arc.
2 seconds left on the shot clock here. McConnell's going to have to put a shot up. No shot's going to be called, and I believe they're going to get a foul on Buffalo, if so. And they are, and that's another bad play for Buffalo. You have 1 second left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
So Alexis Davis now picks up her first personal foul.
And, I mean, you look at McConowitz, 6.3 rebounds per game, 8th in the MAC. 52.4% from the field, not from deep, from the field. That's 4th in the MAC. 82.6% from the line, 7th in the MAC. All of those numbers favor her setting down in the paint and dominating Buffalo down low, and instead they're having her be a ball handler outside beyond the arc. It just doesn't line up right now with what their strategy you would think should be coming into this contest. It's almost like they're trying to catch Buffalo by surprise and almost outthink and outsmart themselves.
Indeed, they will, as McConowitz there by the baseline, defended there by Lewis Williams, and Lewis Williams got a piece of the ball, hit off of McConowitz's foot, so Buffalo will take over, trying to get something going offensively. Buffalo 4 for 14 to start this one. Toledo just 4 for 16.
Yeah, and they're just putting players on an island when they go to the paint. Like, they are attacking the paint once in a while, but it's one player down there and 3 or 4 beyond the arc. That makes it easy for Buffalo's defense because they put 2 players down there, double team them, make it hard for them to get a pass out, and those 3-point attempts are nullified that would otherwise be a problem.
Watson and Lewis Williams, that one rolled in and out. Alexis Davis gets the second bite of the apple and puts it up, and that one's no good. So still 2 attempts, and both come up empty for Buffalo. So here comes Toledo back their way, trying to break this scoreless drought. Garcia switches it into the corner for Carruthers. Carruthers guarded by Hines. Carruthers moving inside, puts on a nice move, goes to the right elbow, puts it up there, and elects to go out to Robinson. Feeds in inside to Garcia. Matched up against Davis. Garcia, that one up no good. McConowitz comes out of nowhere, gets the rebound, but the shot clock violation will go off.
I don't know what McConowitz was doing. She grabbed the rebound, almost J.R. Smith style, reset outside to the wing, and by the time she turned around and put up a shot, the shot clock had expired. Just another bad awareness play there by McConowitz. You have to know, with that shot clock running down, that if you do secure that rebound, go up strong with it. She was in a position to make it or get fouled if she did that.
We are in Cleveland, so I understand the J.R. Smith reference.
It wasn't on this court.
Did it happen in this building? Happened in San Francisco. But otherwise, we come back the other way, and that's a basket made. Chella Watson there gets a big basket there. She needs to get going. So Buffalo now takes the lead 12-11 with 7 minutes left to play in the second. And now we're going to get another foul here on Buffalo. This is going to be Alexis Davis' second personal foul, and she can be a player that can get in some foul trouble as well for Becky Burke's Bulls. So she'll get a breather here coming out, and checking back in for Buffalo is Sewell. Goss, Hines. Here's Robinson, guarded by Lewis Williams to the left wing. Hand to Caruthers. Goss out to McConowitz, defended by Hines. Got McConowitz moving inside. 2 on the shot clock. Got to put a shot up, and shot clock knocking off violation there. That is now, I'm starting to lose count how many times that's been a Toledo shot clock violation. That's now back-to-back possessions.
At least 3 or 4, and another low awareness play there by Kira Goss. She saw the shot clock, and instead of pulling the trigger, decided to drive in. And like you mentioned, by the time she let go of that floater, that shot clock had well expired. The buzzer had sounded. Toledo just hesitant to take these looks for some reason.
Well, we just had a fan yell, "Somebody shoot the ball," and I think that is a very blunt way to sum up the Rockets' offensive part of this game so far.
Because if you're not going to drive inside, you have to shoot the ball. And it feels like they don't know what they want to do. They don't know if they want to attack, or they don't know if they want to sit back and take these three-pointers and start jacking up shots, and they're kind of in no man's land.
Yeah, caught in between two minds here. Watson inbounds this one to Sewell, puts a shot up, no good, but she is fouled by Jessica Cook. That'll be her second personal foul of the game. Still 12-11 Buffalo, 6:15 left to play in the second quarter, and I think I've got a decent amount of basketball games now in my time at Bowling Green, and I think if this continues the way it's going to be, I think this is going to be the lowest scoring first half I've seen, at least.
It's got to be up there.
So Sewell will go to the charity stripe. That first one is up and off towards the right and no good. So still 12-11 Buffalo.
Neither team getting anything to fall right now. Sewell on the season, 68.8% from the line, not the best free throw shooter.
Second one is up and good, so now a baker's dozen for Buffalo, 13-11, so they're up by 2.
Feels like our first points in quite a while in this one. Just 3 points scored here through the first 4 minutes of the second quarter.
Rockets to Cook looking for McConowitz, lost initially. McConowitz gets it right back, double teamed by Bulls. They're in the post, gets it back out here to Goss. Goss moving inside. Shot clock down to 10 now. Rockets again taking the shot clock way down.
5 players
Robinson
by the arc.
Down to 5 now. Robinson, Goss, pump fakes, down to 1. Goss puts it up and off the front, no good. Rebound, however, from Robinson. That one no good. And into the hands of Watson, who loses it. Stolen away from Robinson. He'll take a 3 in the corner. That one's off the mark. Into the hands of Sammy McConowitz. McConowitz now kicks it out to Faith-Fed Robinson. Oh, my goodness. I have not seen. This is unbelievable, this offensive output we've had so far this first half. Toledo still has it. Shot clock down to 8. McConowitz inside to Jessica Cook, working on there. Sewell, she turns around, puts it up and in. Toledo ties it at 13 apiece. Sum that one up.
Yeah, I mean, the first offensive rebound by Toledo, I don't know why they took the three-point look there. I don't know why they didn't drive in. They had a one-on-one opportunity. But I think what you saw from Jessica Cook down the low block, I know she has 2 fouls, but easy look down there. I would feed it down to her low again and see if she can keep scoring some points for her.
So a missed 3 the other end from Lewis Williams. 5 for 18 for Buffalo. 5 for 21 shooting for Toledo. As Jessica Cook there is rejected at the rim from the Bulls. The Bulls stand strong once again. Lewis Williams back the other way for UB.
Once again, they're just sending one player down there into the paint. Buffalo's double teaming them, making it hard. Toledo, if they're going to go into the paint, have to start setting some screens or, creating some sort of protection for their players down low.
Lewis Williams mid-range jumper there, no good again. Still tied at 13 apiece, 4:20 left to play here before halftime. Next dead ball will be our media timeout, and this half has gone by so fast.
If you're tuning in, it's probably a good thing you're listening to us on the radio and hopefully not watching this one on a video screen.
Faith Robinson drives. That's off the side of the backboard, and no good into the hands of Lewis Williams. She'll get tied up there by 2 Rockets and foul. We'll see who they tag this one to. It will be a Toledo foul. This is going to be our media timeout, I believe, with 4 minutes on the dot left to play. It's actually will not. It'll be a media timeout. I stand corrected. That'll be Kira Goss's second personal foul. So we'll take it with them here. A defensive game to say the least here in Cleveland. Toledo and Buffalo tied at 13 apiece here. 2025 MAC Tournament semifinals game. You're listening to here on Falcon Radio.
All over America, people are taking the National Radon Test. Have you? Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false? The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false? Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. True.
I'm gonna dial the number and call
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, 4 minutes left to play here before halftime here in a very low-scoring affair. The number 2 seeded Toledo Rockets against the number 3 seeded Buffalo Bulls. Tied at 13 apiece is your score. Lucas Kleinmeyer alongside Tyler Kavlitz with you. And Tyler has something he wants to say.
It's hard to find words to sum up what we have watched so far. And to try to describe it to you, listening at home on the airwaves of Falcon Radio, I'm just going to put it into perspective in this way. There's been 26 points scored so far through the first 16 minutes of this game. There have been 18 turnovers. There are nearly as many turnovers as points scored. And then you look at, there's 11 personal fouls. There's been 10 field goals made. There are more personal fouls so far in this game than shots that have been made by 2 of the 4 best teams in the Mid-American Conference.
2 of the best 3.
2 of the best 3, yeah. You can make that argument for sure. Baffling. I mean, I know the defenses for both these teams are good. I don't think they're this good.
It's very anti-current day NBA. NBA gets a lot of slack today with too much scoring, there's not enough defense, and all that, yada, yada. It's been quite the opposite here in the MAC tournament, especially this game.
This is, it's something so far. It's something.
Here's Watson, a Beatty mid-range jumper. How about that? Nothing but net there from Beatty to give Buffalo the lead right back. 15-13, 3:40 left to play before halftime.
Maybe that's all Buffalo will need to see one go down through the net, gain some confidence back. We'll see if Toledo can match it.
Garcia, Carruthers working on Cornfield. Carruthers, offensive foul on Carruthers. A little bit too much of a shove there on Hines. So apologies there, not Cornfield. So Hines there takes the foul.
A lot more energy right now on the Buffalo bench compared to Toledo's bench.
The 11th turnover for the Rockets in this half. That's Carruthers' first one. Garcia checks out. Novorotsky will check back in. Buffalo trying to maybe extend their lead here going into halftime. Watson to the left wing there, pulls up there. That one off the mark. Watson now 2 for 9 shooting in this game. It's hold in there from Carruthers.
She's had a rough half for sure.
Carruthers still looking for her first points in this contest. Hands off to Novoroski. Novoroski, nice bounce pass to Carruthers. They put the shot up, couldn't get to fall, but she's going to be charged again for an offensive foul. That's a back-to-back offensive fouls there for Carruthers.
Just a couple bad possessions on offense by Toledo, opening the door a little bit for Buffalo to take control of the game.
Under 3 minutes to play here before halftime. 15-13 Buffalo is your score. Here's Cornfield. Top of the key for the Bulls. Bounce pass Beatty. Hands it back off to Cornfield here towards the right wing. Moving inside now. Working on Carruthers. Kicks it out to the left wing. Watson guarded by Dykstra. Watson back out to Cornfield. Cornfield try a 3. Cornfield! She connects. Nothing but net. 18-13 Buffalo lead extends to 5.
Big swing going in the favor of Buffalo right now. They have taken control of their offense, starting to get going. Toledo still in a rut as they turn it over once again.
12th turnover here. Fed Robinson now the guilty party, and that was a long outlet pass there from Hines. Watson has to keep it in play, so they can't connect on the transition there. But the hold up here. Carruthers and now Cornfield. Cornfield now moves inside, kicks it out. Lewis Williams working on McConowitz. Puts on a couple step overs on McConowitz. High-arcing shot there over the basket. No good into the hands of Novoroski. Carruthers. Novoroski sets the screen. Top of the key guarded by Beatty. Carruthers to Dykstra in the corner. McConowitz drives baseline. Moves inside. Kicks it out. Fed Robinson now. Could have taken a 3 if she wanted to. Elects to hold up and kicks it now out top of the key. Carruthers again. Fed Robinson. Shot clock in single digits again for Toledo. Down to 7. Fed Robinson now. Left wing Dykstra. Dykstra moving inside. Down to 3. Carruthers moving inside. Novoroski. I do not understand what the Rockets have been doing offensively so many times this first half. Again, the shot clock was expiring. The Bulls now will foul, so that's a big mistake on the Bulls' defensive part. So Jordan Beatty will get her second personal foul. But again, the Rockets there taking the shot clock all the way down to the point where they can't even put up a shot.
It almost feels like each offense is wanting to help the other offense get going. Here, we're going to waste this possession. Hopefully you can do better on the next one. I have not I'm in the same sentiment that you've been saying. I've been echoing. I do not understand the offensive strategy by Toledo this half. It's been mind-boggling, bamboozling.
Toledo again gets it back.
And it hasn't changed. It's been the same thing, and it has not been working, and they keep trying it, turning it over again.
5 seconds on the shot clock. They turn it over. Lewis Williams picks up the scraps on the offensive end, and that's just a high-arcing shot that went way over again.
Didn't even try to use the backboard. Try to go right at Garcia. Just a terrible-looking shot.
Lewis Williams now 0 for 7 and 0 points in this first half. How uncommon is that for her? She's been incredible.
Double-double last game against Bowling Green.
Indeed. Garcia, double team down low, working on Lewis Williams. Garcia, that shot a little short. Into the hands of Beatty. 44 seconds left here before halftime. 18-13 Buffalo. Cornfield. Got Goss there on skates a little bit. And they're going to say double dribble there on Cornfield.
Turnovers. That is now, let's do some math here, 23 turnovers in this first half. That is incredible.
And I got to say, both coaches won't be happy with how either team have played. Buffalo.
That might be an understatement.
Buffalo will most likely be in the lead coming into this one. Ella Weaver checks back in for the Rockets. So 18-13 Buffalo, 37.6 seconds left. But if you're Brady Sally and those Cardinals, you're watching this game and you're thinking.
You're sitting pretty if you're Ball State right now.
Sitting pretty. A reminder, whoever wins this game will face the Cardinals in the MAC championship game tomorrow, 11 a.m. How about another offensive foul for the Rockets? This time they're going to get Garcia there. That's going to be her second personal foul as well. That's the fourth Rocket. Now 2 personal fouls. Cook, Garcia, Carruthers, and Goss. 2 5s in Garcia and Cook.
30.9 seconds left to go for one of these teams to go into halftime with momentum. Just 0.9 seconds separating shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, they could take this almost all the way down to halftime if they want to, and it's been a common theme for both teams today, so why not just take it all the way down Watson guarded by Dykstra. So Buffalo will go into halftime with the lead, but how much will they have? Watson was calling for a screen, doesn't get it, and Watson calls her own shot there. That one is off the mark.
I do not like that look. I think that was a forced look with 6 seconds left. Just a low-quality look, trying to force something just past the free throw line. I think she started making her move to the rim too early at about 8 seconds left on the clock. I would have waited until 6 or 5, giving your chance a chance at the last shot. But they're going to get a chance at the last shot here. Offensive foul by Toledo.
Ball inbound from McComets to Weaver, and then an offensive foul going to be called. So Buffalo's going to get the ball right back here with 2.6 seconds left to put up a shot going into halftime. There's just been so many mistakes, self-inflicted wounds, and just self-sloppiness, just basketball from both sides. That stuff you'd see the first or second game of the season. Ball inbound, 1 second left. Watson now takes it underneath the basket. At the buzzer, Watson got it to go. Chella Watson, how about a little bit of a positive note to end what was a crazy, underscored, low-scoring first half of basketball. The Bulls lead 20-13. Up by 7 heading into the break.
And Toledo's team, that's a sign of something. Taking absolutely no time running off that court into the locker room. It's going to be a tense situation in both of these locker rooms. 33 points in the first half combined.
So both teams will take some time to quietly talk to their teams, I'm sure, in the locker room. Go over what needs to be adjusted as the Bulls up by 7. Looking at back in the MAC championship game, 20-13 is your score. We'll take a quick break and recap the first half and preview what's to come here in the third quarter. You're listening to the 2025 MAC basketball tournament right here on Falcon Radio.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot, taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing. Looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
This hour of Falcon Radio programming is brought to you by the Falcon Media Sports Network, broadcasting BGSU athletic events on Falcon Radio and WBGU FM.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers, how they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
When severe weather causes telecom network outages, the FCC recommends that you call 911 only when necessary and limit non-emergency calls. Avoid repetitive redialing to minimize network congestion. Try texting if a call doesn't go through. Conserve cell phone power and turn off your phone when not in use. If evacuated, forward landline calls to your cell phone and use your outgoing message to update your status. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in Cleveland, Ohio, halftime here in the second semifinal game of the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Tournament. The Buffalo Bulls lead by 7 over the Toledo Rockets, but it's not the score you probably think. It's 20-13 at halftime. Probably one of, if not the lowest scoring game of the year, and it comes in the MAC Tournament semifinal game. The only game you can think of that was the closest to being this low scoring in this past season was when Western Michigan took down Toledo early in this season. I have to look at the score, but that was the lowest scoring game in the regular season coming to this one. Lucas Clymer alongside Tyler Kavalitz with you, and that was quite the first 20 minutes of basketball we had on our hands.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. It almost doesn't look like basketball compared to what we saw in the Ball State game. If you compare these two styles of play, I mean, just no identity on either side. It's almost shocking. I have a few numbers here I was telling you I had at halftime for both these teams, for Buffalo and Toledo. First, I'm going to go over to the Toledo side. The Rockets have not made a three-pointer here today. They are 0 for 6. The last time they did not make a three-point field goal was back in 2018. You have to go all the way back to January 8th, 2018.
7 years.
Sorry, apologies, I was looking at the wrong one. February 7th, 2018. That is 7 years. 0 for 8 against Miami of Ohio. They also currently have 16 turnovers. Do the math, they're on pace for 32 turnovers by themselves here today. The last time they had 25-plus turnovers came all the way back on February 26th. If that date rings a bell, that's because it was against this Buffalo team when they committed 28 turnovers. Buffalo had success defensively against them last time out. And looking over at the Buffalo side, there's some similar parity when you look at the numbers. The fewest points scored in a quarter for them coming into this game was 6 points. They scored those 6 points against Toledo on February 5th. And the fewest points scored in a half was 20, the same number that they have right now on February 5th against Toledo. These two teams had great defensive success against each other in both matchups earlier this season, and it's been much of the same, just on an elevated level so far here today. And this lead at half is very interesting. It's very important that Buffalo has it, because we've seen them have to come from behind so much this season, and they're up by 7 now at halftime. When the Bulls lead at half, they are 19-1 this season. And looking over at the Toledo side, it would have been really crucial for them to get the lead, because they are 6-6 when trailing at half. They've come back before, but they're a perfect 15-0 when they lead at the break. They do not have that today. Buffalo will be playing in front in a position they've only lost once this season. Going to be an uphill battle for a Toledo offense that has not been able to get anything together to really even call themselves an offense so far here today.
Buffalo, 8 for 26 shooting. That is good for 30% on their 20 points. 2 for 5 from the three-point range. And while the Rockets is up 13 points, 5 for 24 shooting, 0 for 6 from 3. You hear Tyler read all the stats and all the historical implications it all has. And I did mention the Toledo and Western Michigan game earlier this season. That was back on January 15th. This is the lowest scoring game at halftime. It was 20-20 at halftime. Western Michigan beat Toledo 41-38 earlier this year. That was Western Michigan's best win of the year. So Toledo has been held to 38 points this season alone. So they are more than capable of having shooting performances like this, but I don't think either and I thought this would come in the MAC tournament in the semifinal round when you need a win in order to book a spot in the MAC championship game against Ball State.
We mentioned that defense was going to be the key of the game, the name of the game. Defense wins championships. You've heard that for years and years and years growing up in any kind of sport that you play. I don't think we thought that the offenses would be this poor in the first 20 minutes of action. I mean, 13 points in a half? 13?
2 points in the second quarter. Just 2. Toledo Rockets were held to 2 points in the second quarter. Let that marinate.
Logic says if you just drive and run into someone and they are not set, you go to the line for 2 free throws. Like, they only get 2 points in a quarter.
I think a lot of it, too, it's hard to describe it's hard to describe our listening audience, too. The shot selection just doesn't, it's just been off. It's been off. The timing of it, the areas on the court, it's not the right areas. It's not the right decision. They're passing up on looks where they should shoot. It's just not been
almost
good.
Like each team's demoralized. They're scared to do anything. They're scared to mess up. It just has not made sense. I think Buffalo is just struggling offensively. I think Toledo is lost. I don't think they know what they want to do. It doesn't look like it. And it's something we're not used to seeing from a Toledo team. All those years under Trisha Collup, this was a team that elevated their play going into the postseason. And by no means do I think Bongus is a bad head coach. I think she is a tremendous coach. But she's got to get her squad playing a better brand of basketball if they want to win this game or even have a respectable performance. Because we've seen some teams go out in this tournament. Bowling Green went out against Akron. Those were different circumstances. They had a 7-man rotation. This is a healthy Toledo team. They need to put a respectable second-half performance out here to really try to compete with this Buffalo team. It's a chance to go to the championship game. To only score 13 points in the first half and 2 in the second quarter is really just an unfortunate situation that Toledo has put themselves in.
Indeed, as well as see what Coach Bogus can do. This is her first run at the MAC tournament this year. Did beat Central Michigan coming into this one, but that's going to do it for us here for halftime. I think it's safe to say both teams have to improve a lot of things on both sides. You can't really narrow it down to just one specific thing.
And you know, one more thing I'll add before you wrap it up. Toledo's got to get their act together quick because Chella Watson's a second-half player.
Mm-hmm.
Watson, I can guarantee you, is not going to go 3 for 11 with just 6 points again in this half. She will do better than that, and that is not good news for Toledo considering they're already down by 7 going into the second half. It's going to be a very big challenge for them here in this final 20 minutes.
And Watson's off first half, first 2 quarters, 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists still. So she still was productive in other categories as well. We just have about a couple minutes left here before tip-off for the third quarter here. Buffalo Bulls up by 7, 20-13 is your score. A chance to go to the MAC championship game against Ball State is on the line. Don't go anywhere. Listening to the MAC tournament right here on Falcon Radio.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, and of course companionship. Now let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance will come in with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council. The
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Back here in Cleveland, Ohio. Halftime here at Rocket Arena. Ready to start third quarter action. Buffalo up by 7. 20-13 is your score, and if you've tuned into the first half and our halftime report, it has not been quite a pretty game of basketball offensively at all for both sides. Both teams, Buffalo shooting 30% and Toledo shooting 20%, but that could definitely change here with the second half of basketball we're about to get ready to play.
And with how that first half went, we appreciate you if you are still listening to this broadcast of this game, and it can only go up from here. There's no way this game could be played any worse, which sets us up for an exciting end to this game because it's only a 7-point difference between these two teams. And, I said earlier in the first half that water finds its level. It will find its level with these two teams. They are two of the best 3 or 4 teams in the conference this year.
So the third quarter underway here. Same starting 5 for Toledo and Buffalo as they begin this one. Lexus Davis, pass down low, is poked away from Garcia. Loose ball on the floor, gets it back. Play still alive. Here's Hines working on Dykstra. Hines drives baseline, kicks it out to Watson. Watson guarded by Goss. Watson gets a screen set there from Davis. Watson out there, 3-ball on the way. That one just off the mark as shot clock expired. That was off from Hines. Got the open look they wanted, just couldn't get the shot to go in.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad look. I think it's a good take there by the Bulls.
And an opportunity there from the Rockets there, driving baseline. Puts the shot there. It was high arcing and wasn't really close. That was foul's going to be on Kirsten Lewis-Williams. That's going to be her first personal foul. And Carruthers will go to the free throw line.
That's what Toledo needs to do, though. Drive to the rim. Take the contact. Put up a shot. Go to the line for some easy points and try to chip your way back into this game.
Carruthers' first attempt is good. And this is Kirsten Lewis-Williams who started all 30 games, including postseason play for Buffalo, averaging 13.6 points per game, second on the team. 5.3 rebounds per game, second on the team in assists as well, and she is scoreless here early on.
Double-double last game.
So 2-for-2 trip there. How about that for the Rockets there? So 20-15 is your score. Carruthers there. Perfect trip from the line. Come the Rockets back in this one. Hines there turns around on Dykstra. That one banks in. So Hines has her first points in this one, 22-15. Buffalo back up by 7. Under 9 minutes to play in the third.
Might be the first time we're going to say it for this game, but great ball movement on that play by Buffalo. I mean, that's what these teams need to do, though, because you had multiple players cutting there. It looked like a dynamic offense. You didn't know, Toledo didn't know whether they were going to kick it out for the 3, stay down low for the 2, and that's what they have to do to confuse these defenses and break down the defensive shells.
How about Cornfield there, one of the best players in the MAC in steals, taking that one from Dykstra, gets it to Davis, and Davis there turning around shot. It goes in and out of the basket, so Toledo comes away unscathed. McConowitz, Goss, right wing on Lewis-Williams. Here's McConowitz, nice move here, moving inside with the left, long strides. McConowitz got it to go. She's a player that only had 2 points on 1 for 5 shooting in the first half. Got that one to go, 22-17 Buffalo.
Again, what Sammy McConowitz should do. She's dominant down low, drive into the paint, take contact, get the shot to go. High quality look by Sammy McConowitz.
Watson couldn't get that shot to go. Davis couldn't get that second attempt to go, but the third attempt for Watson got to go. First you don't succeed, try and try again. That's what she did there. 24-17 Buffalo back up by 7. McConowitz there kicks it outside with a lot of contact. 3-ball on the way from Goss! And she connects Toledo's first 3-point made of the afternoon.
And that's what I was talking about. You force the ball down low early in the possession. They double team. They crash down low. It makes for an open look in the corner for a three-pointer. One of the only clean looks Toledo has gotten today, and they hit it. They're back in the game, down by just 4, taking it the other way.
So Goss's 3-ball. Lewis Williams on the other end. Shot no good. Toledo's already outdone their offensive production in the second quarter. Garcia drives to the rim, couldn't get the shot to go, and they're going to get Toledo here for a foul. And I believe they'll get Garcia. And it will not. It will be Dykstra for Toledo. So already a better scoring quarter for Toledo so far in this one. Still down by 4, 24-20 Buffalo. 7-12 left to play in the third.
And they avoid that ugly mark that would have been their first game without a three-pointer made since 2018. They finally have one on the board.
And yes, I know it was a low bar. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, 2 points, but we'll see how. I would love for one of these teams to break open and go on a huge run here, grab the momentum, because it's there for the grabbing still. Neither team has a substantial lead so far in this game.
Faith Robinson, their spin around shot there. Don't know if she was tripped or fouled, but the shot was no good.
I think a little bit of combination of both. I think she was hit with contact and then went down throughout the shot.
Cornfield, nice pass to Beatty. And Beatty gets it up and in the lay. And how about that? Nice pass there for Buffalo. Up by 6, 26-20. UB 6-25 here in the third.
Almost missed that shot off front iron. Able to get it to roll in just off the back iron once it hit the backboard.
We'll take it. McConowitz. Here to the left wing, moving inside to Cook. Cook, top of the key, fed Robinson. In the corner, Carruthers. She'll try 3 from the right corner. That one off the mark. And you see McConowitz just grab the back of Lewis Williams there. No call given. Goss now drives baseline, kicks it out to Cook. Cook working inside on Beatty. Inside the post now. Cook makes a nice move there. Off one of the foot, lays off the glass, and in 26-22, Buffalo.
Toledo just needs to keep attacking the paint. That's where all of their points are coming from. Keep attacking the paint, get to the rim, take contact, be aggressive. That should be the mantra for Toledo in the next few minutes.
Watson, top of the key, was looking there from a nice run from the baseline, was going from left to right from Lewis Williams, but they'll get an offensive foul. It'll be on Norlani Cornfield from off the ball. Got Destiny Robinson back in as well for the Rockets, in for Goss. Sammy McConwitz checks out. Cole checks in for Toledo as well.
Toledo's gotten some good looks on the outside, but I like what they just did right there, driving inside once again. It's definitely evident that both these teams, that's what they talked about in the locker rooms at halftime. They needed to be more aggressive on offense because it was a lot of patiently waiting around for something to break down in the first half. Both these teams have attacked the paint, going to the rim with aggressiveness, and it's paid out so far for both of the squads.
So Carruthers drove to the line, was fouled. 2 for 8 here, 6 points. Now make it 7 as her first one from the line is good. Carruthers' second attempt is off the mark, but rebounded there from Toledo. Robinson gets it to Fed Robinson, top of the key. Here's Cook. Gets it to Carruthers, left wing. Fed Robinson had that loss. It's down to 1 second again for Toledo. And Tyler, I would say it's a little bit of commentator's curse. We were just talking about how Toledo got a lot more aggressive on offense. Again,
we said we lost count in the first half. That's got to be 4 or 5 shot clock violations on this Toledo team. I just don't understand what the mindset is when the shot clock is lowering, because for Toledo, you would have to think, just drive inside, get something up, and they just keep resetting on the outside and letting the clock run down before they take a shot. It just doesn't none of it checks out or makes any sense, and that's 4 or 5 turnovers that could have been prevented if you are Toledo. That's 17 turnovers on the day.
So we've reached our third quarter media timeout. 5 minutes on the dot left to play in the third. 26-23 is your score. Buffalo up by 3. Don't go anywhere listening to the 2025 MAC basketball tournament here on Falcon Radio.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in Cleveland, Ohio. Why are you looking at me like that, Doug? Come on. All right, back here in Cleveland, Ohio, here at Rocket Arena. 3-point lead for the Buffalo Bulls. 26-23 is your score. You're killing me over here with your facial expressions. I'm sorry. We have now under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Well, we are. What game is this? Is this 12? Or
This
no,
is
this
game.
10.
This is game. You're starting to lose it, my friend. Game number 10 here.
10.
14
Okay.
left.
I was right on the rebound attempts. And that's what Buffalo's been doing a lot in this second half, is getting inside. They're missing a few of these layups, but they're getting their own rebounds. And they have really controlled the glass and controlled the paint action on their offensive side. And they've been taking it to Toledo down low. Toledo trying to do the same, not to the same effectiveness as the Bulls. But you know what I was going to say? We're 10 games here to the MAC tournament, covering every single game. Starting to get a little bit delirious, I think, at this point. But it has been a lot more competitive second half game. It's still just waiting. I think you probably feel the same way. Neither team still has grabbed that momentum. I think we thought Buffalo was going to do it when they started going on a little run. They got cold, and Toledo answered back a few times, cutting that 7-point deficit down to 3 now. One of these teams just needs to grasp control of that momentum eventually here and start running with it. And whoever is going to be the first team to do that, I think will win this game.
And while it has been low scoring, it's still a tightly contested game. So a big run from either one of these teams is going to put them in a prime position to come away with the victory, as Buffalo offensive possession comes up empty. Here comes Robinson back the other way for the Rockets. Here's Cook. Wide up in the corners, fed Robinson. Moves into the baseline. Turnaround jumper on Lopez. That one no good. And into the hands of Beatty. Here's Watson. Out to Lewis Williams. Still looking for her first points in this contest. Out to Beatty. Beatty pulls up a mid-range shot there. And that one falls. Stops the Buffalo drought. 28-23. Buffalo up by 5. 4:12 to play before the fourth.
Nice open look there, taking advantage of it for the Bulls. See if Toledo has an answer. They have had answers so far here throughout the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. 4 to play.
And there's Jessica Cook with the ball, but a timeout's going to be taken from Toledo, so Coach Bogus didn't like exactly what she saw there on the offensive spell. It looks like this is just going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay with you here.
They're going to, I think, add a media timeout onto that from what I'm seeing over on my screen.
Indeed they will. So once again, another timeout here. So under 4 minutes to play here, 28-23 Buffalo, 5-point lead for the Bulls. Don't go anywhere listening to the MAC tournament here on Falcon Radio.
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot, taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing. Looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
Back here in Cleveland, out of this timeout, 28-23 Buffaloes are scored. Just under 4 minutes left to play here before the fourth quarter. Luke Kleinmeyer alongside Tyler Kavelitz with you. We've been harping on it all broadcast long, been low scoring. Both teams still struggling to shoot the basketball. 12 for 37 for Buffalo. 8 for 32 for Toledo. It's been such an uncharacteristic game offensively for both these teams. And Tyler, we talked about a little bit off air. I think this is just punishment for me because I was bragging on a couple other broadcasts so far this tournament that I've had. I've had a really good games. We had Buffalo Bowling Green first game, last game of Wednesday. Very good game down to the wire. Not the result. Bowling Green won by any stretch of the imagination, being eliminated. 2 big games last day for the men, Toledo and Ohio for the men's, and then you and I were on the call as well for Western Michigan and Kent State. Both men's games were really good and down to the wire as well. I think it serves me right. Serves me right is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you know, I think this is the first one on the women's side of the bracket that has underwhelmed in terms of expectations coming into it, which, you know, that speaks to how strong this tournament has been, even though it's been all chalk on either side so far. They have been, for the most part, very competitive, entertaining games. This one's still on the competitive side, 28-23. Still waiting, like we said, for a team to grab that momentum and start running with it. And, you know, we mentioned it earlier. If you're Ball State, if you are watching this and you're Brady Silly, you have to be feeling absolutely phenomenal about your chances to win the MAC Tournament Championship, because from what we've seen out of Ball State, and I would say Akron on the men's side as well, both those teams seem like the clear favorites on either side of the bracket.
Indeed, they do. Shot there from Carothers out this time at no good. Into McConowitz. Loose ball on the floor. She gets it. And jump ball possession arrow will favor the Rockets. And it feels wrong, though, if Buffalo were to pull away with this victory to call it an upset. It's the 2 and 3 seed, so it feels kind of wrong, but I guess if you're going by numbers, will be the first non-chalk of this one. Garcia will jack up a 3. That one no good.
It's March. We'll call anything an upset if it's a lower seed.
Indeed we will. McConowitz, their turnaround jumper. Got to go a couple of bounces and falls. 28-25. Just a 3-point ball game here. Buffalo in the lead. 3:31 left to play here in the third. Beatty working on Garcia. Beatty drives, and it gets a favorable bounces, and that one drops as well. Beatty now tied for the team's lead in points. 8 points along with Cornfield.
Nice move to get inside. Backing down Garcia. Fake to the left, went to her right, and had an open look. Laid it up and in. And like you said, 5-point game now, 30-25. Buffalo extending that lead little by little.
But Robinson, that attempt there no good, but it's a nice rebound from Garcia. She puts it up and in. That's a strong finish. You want it inside the post if you're Toledo and Garcia.
There's that rebounding that we have been talking about all game long, dating back to the pregame. Toledo has been the dominant team down low, 32-21. Out rebounding the Bulls, 11-4 in the offensive rebound category.
How about Beatty as well, going back on the offensive end, getting that one to go, laying that one up and in off the glass and in. She now has 10 points, first player of this game to reach double figures, 32-27 Buffalo. Here's Garcia, drives to the rim, got it to go, and one. Garcia. She'll take 2 and 1 to go. Going to the charity stripe, 32-29, a chance to cut it down to just 1.
Great job there to get inside, and she's starting to take over a little bit on the Toledo side. Chance to cut it down to it is a one-possession game now, down by 3. Chance to cut it down to a 2-point game. 32-29 the current score, 2:30 to play in the third quarter.
Goss has checked back in for Toledo as well. So Garcia converts the 3-point play, 32-30 Buffalo. It may not be as high scoring as we want it to be, but man, oh man, it's still a ball game, not a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. 2:30 left to play in the third, 32-30 Buffalo. Little defense chant from the Rocket faithful who made their way to Cleveland.
Toledo always travels well as a fan base, just a little over 2 hours away. Toledo is from Cleveland.
Watson was driving, but she dribbled herself out of bounds. McConowitz and Goss, their nice double team to force Watson out of play.
You know, I got to say, not a bad turnout for Buffalo, considering how far away Buffalo is from Cleveland, Ohio, riding the Great Lakes to get here. Nice turnout for the Bulls.
Very good turnout for UB, and it's going to be a great turnout for the MAC championship game tomorrow regardless.
As expected, Akron and Kent State have showed out in terms of attendance. Those teams just in the backyard of Cleveland, about 40 minutes away.
Carruthers to McConowitz, and they'll get an offensive foul on Toledo.
18th turnover of the game for Toledo, their 11th foul. Combined 29 turnovers here today between these two teams.
Jessica Cook's third personal foul. She is the first Rocket to get in her to pick up her third personal. Watson trying to get this one to Sewell. Sewell trying to spin move. Offensive foul on the Bulls this time. That time it's Sewell. Offensive foul on Jessica Cook, so a turnover for Buffalo.
Back-to-back offensive fouls by these two teams. Getting a little aggressive down low, a little too aggressive down low. As we'll have a substitution here for the Bulls.
Davis back in for Sewell. So still 32-30 Buffalo. A minute 40 left to play here in the third. Here's Carruthers. One-on-one here with Cornfield. Bounce pass to McConowitz. Back out to Carruthers, right wing. Top of the key. Fed Robinson in the left corner. Goss feeds it inside. McConowitz pump fakes. McConowitz up and in. Strong finish for Sammy McConowitz. We're tied at 32 apiece.
McConowitz, her fourth field goal made, up to 8 points here today.
Here's Cornfield. Moves inside. Thought about a shot out to Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams now drives inside. Spin around shot. It's going to be spin around attempt there. Now Lewis Williams. There's a spin around attempt. Up and in. Her first points in this game, and it comes under mint to play in the third. 34-32 Buffalo.
Toledo has done a tremendous job of neutralizing Kirsten Lewis-Williams so far here today, but she finally gets on the board. You knew she would. It was just a matter of time.
Fed Robinson. McConowitz drives up and in. Sammy McConowitz and one. Got the foul. McConowitz is starting to heat up here towards the end of the third. 34 all, and a chance for Toledo to go ahead.
Now these offenses are starting to get going. They've finally woken up, and Sammy McConowitz starting to take over for the Rockets.
So McConowitz can give the Rockets the lead for the first time since the second quarter. She can convert this three-point play. She now in double digits with 10 points. 10 rebounds as well, so a double-double for Sammy McConowitz in this contest. Attempt on the way here. That one's up and good. Make it 11 points and 10 for McConowitz. Novorosky in for Garcia. McConowitz will check out as well.
And now Toledo, just like that, back out in front. They've completed that 7-point comeback to take a 1-point advantage. Trying to take that into the fourth quarter with a defensive stop here.
Cole has checked in as well. 35-34 Toledo. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cornfield bounce pass to Watson. Watson. Lewis Williams now, a spin around shot that falls. Lewis Williams back-to-back baskets Buffalo back in the lead, 36-35. Shot clock is off here. Final 15 seconds here in the third quarter. Carruthers towards the left wing. 9 seconds left, down to 8 and 7. Fed Robinson, 5 seconds left. Spins around. Fed Robinson puts up a shot there, and that was way off the mark, and that's how this third quarter will come to a close on that attempt. Buffalo will remain in front with one final quarter left to play. Who's going to book their ticket to the MAC championship game? Will it be the Bulls or will it be the Rockets? We have one final quarter to find out here. Don't go anywhere. 36-35 Buffalo. You're listening to the MAC tournament right here on Falcon Radio.
It's time now to see what's happening around BGSU. This Friday, it's the BGSU Shamrock Social at the Bowen Thompson Student Union Oval. This Falcons After Dark event will have giant games, inflatables, St. Patrick's Day t-shirts, and a Shamrock painting kit. Happening on Wednesday, the 19th, it's TEDx BGSU in the Student Union's multi-purpose room. Registration and a list of speakers can be found at bgsu.edu/TEDxBGSU. And midterm grading period runs now through the 16th. Instructors can report midterm grades at any time, so students are recommended to check their grades throughout this time. For a full list of events, visit events.bgsu.edu. I'm Nate. That's a look at what's happening around BGSU on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo, a 1-point lead, 36-35 over Toledo. So this looks like it's not going to be the lowest scoring game of this season. It was 41-35. Toledo lost to Western Michigan. Offense picked up a little bit there in the third quarter. Buffalo still remain in front by 1, so let's buckle in for these final 10 minutes to see who can book their ticket with Ball State in the MAC championship game. Tyler, your thoughts?
Well, this fourth quarter is going to be, I think, very competitive. I think it's going to be entertaining with just a 1-point difference. And I'm going to say I think the first 5 minutes of this fourth quarter will decide the winner of this game. You look at Buffalo, when they are leading with 5 minutes remaining this season, they are undefeated 21-0. And when you look, and they have not been tied with 5 minutes remaining, an interesting note there. You look at Toledo, when they are leading or tied with 5 minutes remaining, they are also 21-0. So these two teams, when they have a lead with 5 minutes to go, they do not give it up. They hold on to it, and they end up winning. Whoever is leading at that 5-minute mark will most likely come out as the winner of this game and head on to face Ball State in the MAC Tournament Championship game tomorrow morning.
Is it going to be McConowitz time for the Rockets, a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds? Or is it going to be Watson time, 6 points, still 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a very quiet third quarter for her, very quiet game? Or will she take over again?
13 points in the fourth quarter yesterday. Becky Burke says fourth quarter is Chella Watson time. We will have to wait and see if it's another Watson takeover in Cleveland.
Nolani Cornfield to Lewis Williams there, and Lewis Williams will get fouled. And it's going to be on McConowitz. That's going to be her second personal. Excuse me, her first personal one. Excuse me, not second. So they'll inbound this one with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Cornfield. Watson, mid-range jumper. That one just off the mark. And Toledo holds in the rebound with Garcia. Here come the Rockets with Carruthers. Still 36-35 Buffalo, 30 seconds into this final quarter. Fed Robinson looking to find McConowitz, but it's stolen from Davis. Here's Cornfield.
Again, do not understand the reasoning behind that play for Toledo. Looked like first half Toledo, 5 players along the arc. McConowitz was the only one cutting. She tried to go inside, was double-teamed on the pass. Easy turnover by Buffalo on the just bad play there by the Rockets.
Watson there had a nice pass to Lewis Williams and a nice feed to Lexus Davis, but a charge going to be called. McConowitz, the victim on that foul, so an into possession for Buffalo. Still 36-35 and 9:06 left to play here in the final quarter. The winner will face Ball State at 11 a.m. tomorrow in the MAC championship game. Carruthers, guarded by Cornfield. McConowitz. Here's Carruthers again, moving inside, outside. That's a 3 ball from Fed Robinson. That's off the mark. Rebounded strong from McConowitz. Garcia will call her own number for 3. Garcia, nothing but net.
She hadn't taken many attempts from deep so far today, was just 0 for 2. Nan Garcia finally gets a 3-pointer to go. Some energy into this Toledo offense.
38-36 Toledo. Lewis Williams drives. That shot won't go. McConowitz hits the floor. She's still down on the floor.
Yeah, McConowitz looks uncomfortable down there, taking a while to get back up. She'll now kind of hobble her way back in play.
And that one is dispossessed from Carruthers and to Hines. Hines looking for Lewis Williams. Now on the same page there. Lewis Williams drives to the basket, gets it out to Hines, and that's going to be a foul on. Lewis Williams will be fouled, and it's going to be a foul.
I believe on McConowitz. Yeah. Looked like McConowitz almost tripped Lewis Williams coming in. They made contact around the ankle area. Lewis Williams hit the deck, and McConowitz was still bent over there trying to catch her breath. She hit that ground hard. Took a good 10 seconds to get back up. She'll go take a breather on the bench.
Yep, a breather.
That was a tough sequence there for Sammy McConowitz.
Yeah, she was down on that floor for a couple extra seconds, so she'll come out. Robinson and Weaver in. Here come the Bulls. Still down by 2, under 8 minutes to play in the fourth. 38-36 Toledo. Pull-up mid-range jumper here from Cornfield, and she hits it, tied at 38 apiece. 7:48 left to go here. Cornfield now in double figures with 10 points tied for the team lead. Carruthers dribbles to the right wing. Top of the key, Goss. She'll try a 3. Goss, that one just up front of the rim. And holding in that rebound is Cornfield. And here's Watson. It's a Chilla Watson time. Moving inside moving inside there. The mid-range jump to put the shot there, no good. Went in and out.
Just still looks uncomfortable taking these shots. Just not really able to settle down and get a fluid motion going. Chilla Watson has had a tough game. 3 for 14 from the field for just 6 points.
Nice pass to find Cook inside, lays it off the glass and in. So Toledo up by 2, 40-38. 7 minutes left to play here. Feed down low. Beatty moves inside. Beatty! And that one. And I think that one, it looked like from this angle that she did not get that one to go. So it's still 40-38 Toledo. Looked like from this angle that might have dropped
I thought that went in right away. But yeah, it did miss. So Jessica Cook securing that rebound for the Rockets. Approaching that 5-minute mark, about 90 seconds away from that. Toledo's the one ahead right now by 2, 40-38. Keep an eye on that.
Jessica Cook rails that shot around the rim and falls. It's a 2-possession game for Toledo, 42-38. 6:22 left to play here in the fourth. Lewis Williams, Watson calls for it. So Watson gets it back. Top of the key, guarded by Goss. Cornfield.
Buffalo going to take their time setting up a play here. 10 on the shot clock, Lucas.
Watson here, shot clock down to 6. Watson, pass down low to Beatty. It's off the fingertips of Beatty and a turnover for Buffalo. Toledo takes over. Can this be the separation that Toledo needs to go on a run and possibly punch their ticket into the championship?
Major wasted possession there by the Bulls. 42-38 Toledo, 5:59 to play. Toledo undefeated when leading or tied with 5 minutes remaining in the contest.
Lopez is back in for Buffalo and for Cornfield. Carruthers, Lopez. Lopez heavily guarding Carruthers here. Gets up to McConowitz. Thought about 3 pump fakes there. Gets around her defender again. McConowitz up and in off the basket. It's a 6-point lead for the Rockets. McConowitz now with 13 points, a baker's dozen. Watson back the other way for the Bulls. Bounce pass inside there. Lewis Williams, the shot up no good. She is fouled.
Sammy McConowitz has come alive here in the fourth quarter, tied with Nan Garcia for the team lead in points, the game lead in points, with 13 apiece, 6 for 10 from the field. She has a double-double here at the MAC tournament, 11 rebounds to go along with those 13 points, 3 assists and a steal. Quality game from Sammy McConowitz.
Harness is in for the Bulls. And Buffalo has been held to just, right now, 2 points in this first 4 minutes and 32 seconds of this fourth quarter. Kirsten Lewis-Williams from the free throw line. These are big free throws. First one is up and good. Got a little bit of a sister from front of the rim.
Lewis Williams shooting over 50% from the field and 45% from deep this season. An excellent shooter for this Buffalo team. She's just 2 for 12 from the field today, however, that her 5th and 6th points of the contest.
Second one is good, 44-40. Toledo's your score. Toledo with the ball. 5:20 left. A little bit of a full-court press for Toledo. It's stolen away from Beatty. Oh, what a careless pass there from the Rockets. Watson gets it back, puts up a shot there off balance. Not a good shot selection at all for Watson. Need to capitalize off that turnover. Toledo comes away unscathed.
And Toledo is going to be leading with 5 minutes remaining. They are 19-0 this season with the lead with 5 minutes to go. Buffalo going to have to do something that has not been done to this Toledo team this year to pull off a win and advance to the MAC Tournament Championship to face Ball State.
Heenis and Cornfield back in play. Cook out as well. Garcia back in. Dykstra in as well. Excuse me. Cook's actually going to check in for Garcia. Hannah Novoroski. Cook, Garcia, and Novoroski were all up at the scores table talking to the officials. So it will be Novoroski. Just 1 point so far in this game. Still only a 4-point lead for Toledo, and it looks like they will leave underneath those 5-minute mark like you mentioned, Tyler, but this would be a huge win and a huge comeback for Buffalo if they could break that streak from Toledo.
Talked about those 2 points at length for Toledo in the second quarter. Buffalo just 4 here in the fourth quarter. Toledo outscoring them 9-4 over the past 5+ minutes.
Novoroski. McConowitz. Fed Robinson. Novoroski gets on the right side of Beatty. Novoroski, that one no good. Rebounded from Beatty. And should be... Ooh, jump ball is going to favor Toledo. Wow.
That's an interesting call down low. Didn't expect that one. That's a big call.
That's a huge call. Not something you see very often. Fed Robinson must have just got that right before Beatty. We could have just might not have seen her from our angle.
Had to be. It's a tough angle here to see a play there in the paint on the other side of the court. Officials have a much better view at it than we do up here.
We've reached our final media timeout of this one. The Rockets up by 4, 44-40, with 4:40 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Who's going to punch their ticket to the MAC Championship? Will it be the Bulls or the Rockets? Don't go anywhere. Listen to the MAC Tournament right here on Falcon Radio.
What's going on, guys? I'm Darius Lorfields, junior safety here at BG. My Falcon 4 favorite things for homecoming, definitely seeing some of the alumni, the big crowd, hearing them roar, the Falcon walk pregame, getting to see more people, and then just winning the game overall and celebrating after. Go Falcons.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Hey everybody, Rachel Ray here. Nothing brings a bigger smile to my face than cooking up a big meal for the whole family and lots of friends. But there's not enough room at my table for the 17 million kids in our country who struggle with hunger. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food to to give hope to hungry kids. But they can't do it without your help. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey there, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
4:40 left to play here in Cleveland for the chance for one of these teams, Buffalo or Toledo, to book their spot in the 2025 MAC Tournament Championship game against the number 1 seeded Ball State Cardinals. Lucas Kleinmar alongside Tyler Cavalis with you. And low scoring, Toledo up by 4, 44-40. But still, Buffalo is still very much in reach of this one.
They still are very much within reach of it, but they will have to do something that has not been done this season, which is beating this Toledo team when they are up with 5 minutes remaining. The senior squad, very experienced for the Rockets. They've been in the MAC tournament many a times, have been in this situation many a times, and they have won in this situation quite a bit.
Carruthers there, spin around shot off balance, no good. She's fouled by Hines.
Hines' second personal foul. No one in foul trouble in this game. Oh, apologies, the only one in foul trouble. Carruthers, or no, that's turnovers. My bad, misread the stat sheet there. Yeah, it's been a lot of personal fouls, but very spread out. No player with 4 or more personal fouls here today, a few with 3. And that's allowed all these players to stay on the court this entire game.
Carruthers' second attempt is up and good, so 2 for 2 there, 46-40. Buffalo down by 6. Only 2 3-pointers made for each side, so 4 total on the game. Buffalo looking for the first 3 this half. Mid-range jumper in and out from Cornfield. And it looks like Toledo is starting to sense a little bit of blood in the water here maybe towards the end. Cornfield, McConowitz gets it right back. Had the long length of her arms there to grab that ball back in. McConowitz working on Hines. Baseline, McConowitz, spin around shot, no good. Into the hands of Beatty. Here's Watson. Looking for her first points this quarter. Watson moves, mid-range jumper way off the mark. Into the hands of Lewis Williams. That one up and no good. And Buffalo still scoreless here on that drive, but a takeaway there from Watson gets it back to Cornfield. Still 46-40 Toledo. 3:32 left to play here.
Chella Watson with one of the worst games of the season for her. 3 for 16 from the field. 6 turnovers, just 6 points. As many points as turnovers for Chella Watson.
Well, commentator's curse. She now has 8 points off that basket, so now 46-42.
She heard me and decided to change that.
Cornfield almost poked that one away from Dykstra. Dykstra drive to the basket there. That shot no good. And they're going to get Buffalo here for that foul. Looked like Dykstra kind of initiated the contact. Kind of bounced off of Beatty.
Chella Watson this season, Lucas, has played in 31 games. She has scored double figures in all 31 games. Her lowest scoring output this season was 10 points in 24 minutes against Miami of Ohio on January 18th. So
unbelievable.
A historically bad performance so far from Watson here today. Still has time to turn it around. Can it become Chella Watson time? Because that's what it's looking like it's going to need to be for Buffalo to crawl back into this one. Down by 6 now with 3:08 to go, 48-42.
Perfect trip there from Dykstra to get her first points in this one. Thought it was a 50-50 call, but it goes in favor of the Rockets. 48-42 is your score. Toledo up by 6. Watson. Cornfield. Back up to Watson, top of the key, feeds it inside Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams spin moves, puts it up and one! Lewis Williams, what a big basket. Got by Mekanowicz, drew the contact and the foul, and has a chance to draw it down to just a 3-point Rocket lead if she can convert here from the line.
Excellent play by Kirsten Lewis Williams. She started to get it going. Like you mentioned, 8 points, overcoming the rough shooting night, 3 for 14 from the field. She's a perfect 2 for 2 from the line today and makes that to go 3 for 3.
48-45 your score. Toledo only up by 3. Garcia. A little pump fake there on this press for Buffalo. They get out of it with Destiny Robinson. And initially it's poked away and stolen away by who? The person who leads the MAC in total steals, Nolani Cornfield. Jump ball possession arrow favors Buffalo.
Huge play by Cornfield, doing what she's done all season long. The MAC leader in steals comes up huge for Buffalo. Toledo broke that full court press, but Buffalo able to recover, do a trap over on the right side by the Rocket Arena slogan on the court, and able to force the turnover, give them a chance to tie up the game, approaching 2 minutes to play.
Watson Lewis Williams down low, high, just too much power on that shot there, not even close. So that chance goes empty there from Buffalo. That's a big possession. Possessions are going to be far and few between now here, 2:15 left in the fourth quarter. Buffalo down by 3. Toledo 48, UB 45. Carruthers wide open in the corner. Goss for 3. Goss! Oh, what a huge 3 for the Rockets. 6-point lead now for Toledo, 51-45. Watson back the other way, gets it back up to Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams drives baseline. Lewis Williams almost lost it initially, gets it back out. Beatty tries mid-range shot here. That one rattles in and out. Wide open miss. Toledo up by 6. 1:45 left to go here.
Not your best shooter taking that shot. The mid-range attempt. Didn't love her pulling that attempt when he could have reset for something better with a higher quality look.
Stolen away, and it's stolen by Cornfield. Cornfield drives to the basket, lays it up, and no good. Watson keeps that one in place somehow. Watson drives to the basket. Watson, a lot of contact. Put the shot up, and no good. Hard fall there. 1:25 left. Buffalo down by 6. Watson, we'll see if she's going to the line here.
I believe she will. That definitely looked like it was in the process of her shooting when she was fouled.
And she will. She will indeed go to the charity stripe. So she'll shoot 2 to bring down the 4 points. But Buffalo needs a couple big defensive plays to possibly force overtime. And remind you, Tyler, this was overtime. These two teams last year they met in the semifinals with Buffalo taking the win in OT. Chella Watson's first one's up and good.
We'll see if history repeats itself here in Cleveland, or if Toledo can erase last year's result and advance to the tournament championship.
Second one not good for Watson. Just an off shooting night from Chella Watson. Still down by 5, 51-46, and that could be a crucial free throw for Buffalo.
4 for 17 from the field, 0 for 1 from deep, 1 for 2 from the line. A season low, 9 points for Chella Watson.
Carruthers down to under a minute now left to play. Robinson drives, puts up the shot, no good. A big rebound here. Buffalo ball, last off of Garcia. They might go and review this one, and they will. Make sure they get the call right. 52 seconds left on the dot. Buffalo down by 5, Toledo 51, the Bulls at 46.
And this will give some time for both these teams to draw up some plays, draw up some game plans. Toledo trying to look to hold on. Buffalo looking for an improbable comeback here. Down by 5, 51-46 in this low-scoring affair with 52 seconds remaining. That is still a lot of time left on that clock for Buffalo to make a comeback.
It is indeed, and you look at Buffalo, only 2 threes made this entire game. No three-pointers made in the second half. 2 for 6, only 6 attempts even.
It's been a rough shooting half for them. Rough shooting quarter. 3 for 14 from the field for Buffalo in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Toledo has shot 5 for 10 from the field in the fourth, outscoring them 16-10, the Rockets are.
Well, I think the offense have picked it up a little bit here, which is good. Still low scoring, but it's been a close one again in this game. 30-second timeout taken here for the Bulls. We're trying to think and reset here. Still plenty of time for Buffalo, but you probably need a 3. I mean, you could take a 2, obviously, and it'd be no harm, but I mean, at some point, you're going to need a 3 here sooner rather than later.
I think at this point, they should just try their best, put out the best play there to get some points. I don't think it really matters just yet, a 2 or a 3. If you go for a 2, you cut it down to the 3-point. Like you said, you're going to need a 3 at some point. So I wouldn't be in a rush to take that, especially with how well their press has been working today with some traps once they get past half court. You have the max leader in steals. Just get some points here in this possession.
Cornfield. Time's precious. Cornfield. Lewis Williams looking for an option. Now give it to Watson.
Wasting a lot of time.
Watson tries a 3. Watson off the mark. No good. And a foul on Garcia. And you can start to sense it now if you're the Rockets. Just not the shot you wanted. It's been a rough shooting day for Buffalo.
Yeah, if you're Buffalo, though, you let Chilla Watson take that shot. She's the one that got you here. And you heard Becky Burke talk about it post-game, that she trusts her with the ball in her hands more than anyone else who steps in the court here in Cleveland. She's going to trust her top player to make the shot. It's just been an off night for Chilla Watson, and that's kind of been a microcosm of this whole night, of this whole day, I should say. We're not exactly in night just yet here in Cleveland for Buffalo.
Could we be on a trip? If Buffalo is eliminated here, we'll have an all-new MAC championship matchup. It would be Ball State and Toledo. It'd be all chalk once again. It'd be the number 1 versus number 2 in the MAC women's basketball.
It's been the trend so far. I wonder if there's ever, I'd have to look back, see if there's been a MAC tournament with all chalk. That seems pretty unlikely. You usually see at least 1 or 2 upsets here in these conference tournaments, but it has been all top seeds winning these games so far here at Rocket Arena.
35 seconds left. Toledo. Inbound. And they'll get a foul on Carruthers. That's going to be a foul on Watson. Both teams are in the bonus.
That'll be Watson's 3rd personal foul.
Carruthers will go to the line. How about Watson? Single digits. 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
4 for 18 from the field.
Carruthers,
just a very tough night for Buffalo Star.
Carruthers' first attempt is good. It's 6-point lead for Toledo. They can make it 7 here. They make a 3-possession game with this second basket. That one's up and no good. Into the hands of Lewis Williams. Timeout taken for Buffalo. In a really tough position now. You're probably going to need to drop a 3. Down by 6.
Yeah, you need a 3 now. You put yourself in that position after not getting points on that last offensive possession. Down by 6. You're going to need 2 threes, in fact, at least. And you're going to need to hope for some misses at the free throw line to help you out. It's a tough position Buffalo's put themselves in, to say the least.
It appears we are in for one of those finishes where we might have a lot of free throws from the Rockets. If Buffalo can get a 3, that is, and keep it close.
Yeah, we'll see how they play it if they get to a certain point where they stop fouling. But if you have the fouls to give and you just keep fighting, there's no point in not trying.
Enes will inbound for Buffalo. Here's the Cornfield. Lewis Williams out to Beatty, and she just can't hold it in.
That'll about do it, I think.
And she'll foul. I mean, just not on the same page. A little too hot to handle. And that's going to do it probably here. And the Rockets are sensing a victory here and sensing their first MAC appearance under new head coach Bogus, but also their second MAC championship appearance in the last 3 years.
Toledo program looking like it's going to continue playing strong. here in Cleveland. They've had a ton of success in the past under Tricia Collop. It looks like it's going to continue under Bogus, like you said, here for UT.
If that's how Watson's Buffalo career comes to an end, they'll obviously most likely get into a postseason. Well, now will they accept it is another story.
Yeah.
But, man, disappointing as both attempts from the line from Goss is up and good. So 54-46, 8-point lead for Toledo with 29.8 seconds left. And a timeout on the floor, and Toledo have all but wrapped this one up.
Yeah, hard-fought effort by both teams, especially Toledo down the stretch here in the second half to take control of this game. Buffalo had so many opportunities to, no pun intended, grab the bull by its horns, and they just were not able to do so. They were not able to capture that momentum that Toledo was serving up for them, and the Rockets were the ones that took it, and they ran with it. Moving out now to an 8-point advantage here late with 29.8 seconds to go. Just an off night, a terrible off night at the worst possible moment for the Bulls here in the tournament.
Indeed, and it is similar to Bowling Green in that quarterfinals game, but they came around in the second half, just never did so this game. Shot clock is off. Here's Watson. She'll try a three here. Watson, that's up and good.
That at least moves her out of single digits into double digits. No longer a season low in points for Chella Watson.
Timeout taken quickly for Toledo. That was actually a foul. The timeout was called, but not before that. A foul was committed from Cornfield, so that'd be her third personal foul. And going to the charity stripe will be Carruthers for Toledo.
That play just felt a little too late. Should have ran that play, I think, a few possessions ago, and just a little too little, too late. It's going to turn out for Buffalo.
55-49 now. Toledo. First attempt is up and good. One full timeout left for Buffalo.
We'll see if Becky Burke decides to use it.
Second one is up and good as well.
She will use it.
Timeout is taken.
They're going to keep fighting till the end here, down by 7. You never know. You never know in these tournament environments.
I think we've seen crazier things happen in college,
yeah.
in college basketball.
Definitely have. Definitely have seen crazier things in college basketball.
Well, one last final timeout here. We'll stay right here. We, earlier today, had Ball State take down a very good Kent State Golden Flash team, and it almost looked easy for them at times. And they'll be going to the MAC championship game, and it looks like they'll be facing the Toledo Rockets tomorrow at 11 a.m. We have two other MAC semifinal games coming up here today on the men's side. Akron and Toledo at 5 o'clock, and then 7:30 scheduled for Kent State men's team and the Miami Redhawks. So should be an interesting contest between both teams. All chalk as well on the men's side, so you got the best four remaining teams on the men's side as well.
Yeah, and I think both these sides, the men's and women's MAC this year, have been really clear-cut who the best teams in the conference
there wasn't a whole lot of parity this year.
No.
There wasn't a whole lot.
There was parity in the middle of the conferences, but I think it's pretty clear to everyone who the top four teams on the men's and the women's side of the bracket were all year long, and I think that's the reason why we're seeing all this chalk this year. It's playing out as it did in the regular season here in the postseason tournament.
Corfield inbounds to Watson. Watson heavily guarded. Double team gets the pass off Lewis Williams. Cornfield jack up a deep three, no good. Into the hands of Garcia. And that was Hines there, hitting that one off with 8 seconds left to go exactly. So Buffalo not going down without a fight. Timeout taken, 30-second timeout taken for Toledo. The Rockets are sensing victory now.
Sam Mikonowitz, Nan Garcia getting excited.
Nan Garcia, 13 points, 15 rebounds. So in a game where offense was hard to come by, she played outstanding for Toledo, and then also the other double-double for Mikonowitz, 13 points and 11 rebounds for Toledo.
Don't see that too often on the same team, two double-doubles, and we talked about the rebounding. 45-28. Toledo leading. You look at the offensive rebounding category, they're doubling the Bulls, 12-6.
Big difference in the outcome of the game, for sure, that rebounding category. Rebounding is, a lot of coaches would tell you, it's the most important stat in basketball because it gives you a chance for second chance points or just keeping your offensive possession alive or getting a stop
100%.
defensively.
100%. If you can control the rebounding battle, you can control the game, you can control the pace of the game, and you can really do anything you want with it.
Boy, this is going to be such a good matchup tomorrow with Toledo and Ball State. Becky versus McConowitz, Richard and Garcia.
Buffalo not fouling. Toledo's going to run out the clock.
And that's how this one will close. Toledo blasts off, and the Rockets will go to the MAC championship game for the second time in 3 years. They got a date with the Ball State Cardinals. It's the number 1 seeded Cardinals and the number 2 seeded Toledo Rockets tomorrow in the 2025 MAC championship game as the Rockets take down the Buffalo Bulls 56-49 at Rocket Arena.
Tremendous performance down the stretch by Toledo after the incredibly slow start by both these teams. The Rockets took all the momentum, did what they needed to do, a gritty win by the Rockets, and now they'll have to put this game behind them, this performance behind them, and look solely at Ball State. And that should be a fun contest between Toledo and Ball State.
Chella Watson emotional as she'll walk off the floor for possibly the last time with the Bulls, and that's how the Bulls campaign will come to an end. They beat Bowling Green in the quarterfinals round, and that did it for them in their run. Losing to Toledo Rockets in the semifinal round, there will be no rematch, no chance of redemption, I should say, and a chance to get back to the MAC championship game and come away with a win.
Yeah, it just fell a little short of their goal, and it wasn't just Chella Watson with a underperforming performance today. 12 points, 5 for 19 from the field. Kirsten Lewis-Williams, her Robin, was not able to step up either. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 for 15 from the field. With those two never getting going, this Buffalo offense never got out of first gear. They were stuck in a rut all game long. Toledo was able to move up a gear just a little bit towards the end of the game, get out just in front of them and cross the finish line first.
Indeed, they did. So, it wasn't a pretty game offensively by any stretch of the imaginations. Buffalo 20 for 58, 18 for 51 for Toledo. Leading the scoring, we mentioned with Garcia with 13 points, along with 15 rebounds. One of the 2 players with a double-double for the Rockets. McCowan's 13 points, 11 rebounds as well for the Bulls. Watson still led the way in scoring with 12 points with that last 3. Beatty and Corfield each had 10 points as well, but in the end, not enough for Buffalo to climb over the Rockets, as Toledo will face Ball State in the MAC championship game tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Myself
bright and early.
Bright and early indeed. Myself alongside Kaden Knapp will be on the call on Falcon Radio for that one, starting at 10:45 for pregame. It's going to be an exciting one. Big matchup as well. Toledo going to have to play better, especially in the first half, if they want a
That's
shot.
an understatement. If they want to compete with that Ball State team.
But it should be a good one nonetheless. The 2 best teams in the MAC from the regular season, number 1 and number 2, with Ball State and Toledo. But that's how this one will wrap up. Tyler, any final thoughts?
I just think hard-fought win by Toledo. They earned their way to the tournament championship. Tough path there. And, again, Ball State's tournament to lose. They are going to be the clear-cut betting favorites going into that game. And it's going to be Toledo's job to cause some disruption. And I think they're going to have to play a gritty game like this with their defense stepping up in a big way if they want to upset Ball State, who has been all cylinders firing here in their first 2 games of the MAC tournament in Cleveland, Ohio.
Indeed, and that's how this one will close off. So we'll sign off here for a couple hours, but make sure you come back at 4:45 for pregame for the start of the Akron Zips taking on the Toledo Rockets. So the men's team, Toledo, has a chance to get to their MAC championship as well and upset the number 1 seed Akron Zips as well. Tyler, you'll be on the call with that one with Artie Berger. That should be a good one.
I will be. It'll be a very exciting game. It's going to be a good contest. And Akron looking to repeat as MAC tournament champions. We all know how hard that is to do. So it'll be an exciting game here back in Cleveland. Coming down on our final now 4 games of the tournament. We are 10 down, so 4 to go. Should be exciting.
Indeed we are. So that'll do it for us here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Momentarily, before we sign off, I want to give a thank you to yourself, Tyler Cavlitz, Sports Production Director for Falcon Media Sports Network. I want to give a thank you to the Nate Henners, our board operator back in the studio in the Cooling Center at on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Thank you so much for pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the airwaves, Nate. Really appreciate you. We'll appreciate your services later tonight as well for the 4th game of the contest. So that'll do it for us here. Toledo victorious over Buffalo, 56-49 is your score. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everyone.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.